What is going on, everyone? Jake's Rico here, coming at you with a 2-month absence Blu-ray update. I hope everyone had a great new year. Always look forward to the new year, mainly because newer resolutions every year. So this year, my resolution is to cut down on Blu-rays. Nah, I'm just playing. But mainly it's just to stay healthy and just continue to progress on the path to be successful in the future. So without further ado, I'd like to just get started with my Blu-ray update. First up, I have a few Amazon pickups. These aren't in any particular order, so it's just kind of a stack next to me that I want to show to you. So first up, these just released today. I had these on pre-order. First up is Dragon: The Bruce Lee Story. Just one of my favorite movies growing up as a child. I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. Always idolized him since I was just a youngling, and yeah, I mean, a great performance by Jason Scott Lee. Not totally accurate, but just a great film. Dragon: The Bruce Lee Story on Blu-ray. Next up, we have Diner. This stars Steven Guttenberg, Daniel Stern, Mickey Rourke, Kevin Bacon, Timothy Daley, Ellen Barkin, and Paul Reiser. Just a great film. I remember I caught this on, I think it was TNT a long time ago, and I just fell in love with this film. Just a great cast, great chemistry from all of these actors. Definitely recommended. So yeah, Diner. And last but not least, one of my favorite romantic sports films of all time, and it's Love and Basketball. What can I say? I love the soundtrack, I love the story, I love everything about this film. So yeah, Love and Basketball, starring Omar Epps and Sanaa Lathan. Next up, we have a digibook. I've been meaning to pick this one up for a very long time. I always passed up on it because it was just over $20 and wasn't dropping in price. But it's Gregory Peck's To Kill a Mockingbird. Funny story, I just saw in the news today that Harper Lee, the author of To Kill a Mockingbird, is actually making a kind of a, I think it's a sequel to To Kill a Mockingbird, but she's about to release the book in, I think, June or July this year. So I'm looking forward to reading that book when it drops. But Gregory Peck, one of the best courtroom dramas ever seen on film. And funny thing is, I thought of this film, picking up this film, after seeing the movie The Judge, mainly because, of course, Robert Duvall is in the film and he plays Boo Bradley in To Kill a Mockingbird, and I'm blanking right now. Robert Downey Jr., yeah, he made like a reference to Kill a Mockingbird in The Judge, so I thought that was pretty clever. So yeah, Gregory Peck and To Kill a Mockingbird. Next up, $10 titles from Target. I think everyone's taking advantage of this deal. First up, The Expendables 3. Just watched this film the other day. Loved it, loved the action in this film. I obviously watched the unrated version. I obviously think this is better than the first one. Just my opinion. Just love the chemistry. Yeah, and I love seeing Harrison Ford, Arnie, Jason Statham, Mel Gibson, Wesley Snipes, Antonio Banderas is hilarious in this film. So yeah, The Expendables 3. Next up, a film that I've been meaning to check out for a very long time. I've heard great things about this film. And once I picked it up, sorry about that, guys, my memory card was full, so I had to delete some stuff off of there. But continuing on, Maze Runner, highly recommend it. Next up, a $10 title, a film that is highly praised, and I get the drift. I know a lot of people like this movie a lot, and I thought it was very enjoyable, in my opinion. There's one scene in particular that I just loved and thought was very hilarious, and it was that video game scene where he's playing the video game. But it's Joaquin Phoenix and Her. This is a Spike Jonze love story, starring Scarlett Johansson as his kind of love interest, an OS love interest. So yeah, Her, great film, highly recommend it. And what can I say? Believe the hype. So next up, shout out to Brett the Movie Guy for hooking this one up for me. I didn't know if my Target was going to sell out anytime soon on this film, but it's one of my highly anticipated films of the year. Even though I have not seen this film in theaters, but I did watch it when I received it in the mail. But it's Fury. You know, the stars Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, Michael Pena. Who else is in here? The guy from Walking Dead, John Bertha. I don't know his name at all. But yeah, just a phenomenal cast. Also Logan Lerman from The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is a pretty good movie as well. So yeah, Fury, I definitely enjoyed it. The chemistry was on point. The action was good. Everything leading up to the final scene was just phenomenal. But again, I didn't really like the majority of the death scenes in here. It was a little bit graphic for sure. But yeah, definitely enjoyable film, Fury. Definitely rewatchable. Another great film that I picked up. I picked this one up for about 10 bucks. I had reward zone points, and I'm glad that I picked this one up. This stars Tom Hardy, James Gandolfini, and Noomi Rapace, and it's The Drop. Just a great film. Love the build up to the ending. Tom Hardy is just phenomenal in this. Great acting. I love him in all of his films. James Gandolfini, I think this is one of his final films that he filmed while he was alive, obviously. But yeah, The Drop. Definitely check this one out. Suspenseful thriller. Next up, Robert Downey Jr., Robert Duvall, The Judge. Another film that I loved from start to finish. You know, with The Judge, this kind of reminds me of a film that could be taking place in the 90s, or it could be shot in the 90s, you know. This is the film that kind of came back from the past, and a lot of films from the 90s are relatable to this film. Just the style of the film, the story of the film, everything about it. That's why I enjoyed it so much. So yeah, The Judge. Great performances. Next up, it's one of my favorites from back in the day. I think this is everyone's kind of guilty pleasure. It's a great film. It's a hilarious film, and it's Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman in The Replacements. I love this film. I have to rewatch this film. I haven't seen it in years, but just remember that big Asian sumo guy, he was pretty hilarious. So yeah, The Replacements. Next up, my very first Twilight Time film, and it's Fright Night, the 30th anniversary edition in this clear Amaray case. I know this one's gonna go for a lot of money online, but you know what? I'm probably gonna keep it packaged or wrapped up. Probably not gonna sell it anytime soon. Man, you know, to be honest, I'm in the very small minority of people that don't really like this film at all. I mean, I hate films that just portray characters as like stupid, you know, like he makes the most stupidest decisions in this film. He draws attention to himself, and you know, I don't really like those type of films. I know one in particular, TV show Weeds. She does that a lot. She's very stupid. It was hard to watch, but you know, overall, I know this is a cult classic. So yeah, I'm just definitely excited to have this edition. So yeah, Fright Night. Next up, pick this one up for $5.99. I found the slip at Target, so I had to buy the film and then return the physical copy of the film and just keep the slipcover. But it's the Grand Budapest Hotel, filmed by Wes Anderson. A blind buy for me. I still have not seen this film. I hear great things about it. You know, I haven't seen too many Wes Anderson films. I know a lot of his films are on Criterion right now, but yeah, the Grand Budapest Hotel. Can't wait to check this one out. Next up, a 4-hour movie. It's a film. I think it didn't get too many good reviews on IMDb. I think it only got maybe about 6 to 7 out of 10. But it's an Audrey Hepburn film starring Henry Fonda and Mel Ferrer, and it's War and Peace. I hear this is one of Audrey Hepburn's best performances in her career, and I can see why. You know, it's a 4-hour movie, so definitely have to find some time during the day to watch this film. War and Peace. Next up, Sword of Doom by Kihachi Okamoto, Criterion Blu-ray. The transfer on this film is just phenomenal, great, loved it, clear picture, awesome sound. Tatsuya Nakadai, Toshiro Mifune, epic sword battle in the snow with Toshiro Mifune. Tatsuya Nakadai, you're following around like an evil character throughout, and I didn't really like the ending to this film. I thought it was kind of rushed, but ultimately this is a classic, and Sword of Doom, can't go wrong with this film. Definitely recommended. Everyone's picking this one up. Gone Girl, Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike. I love this film from start to finish. Very suspenseful, ties up at the end, and it's just one of those films that doesn't come around very often, and I really enjoyed this film. Gone Girl. Picked this steelbook off on eBay, then picked up a single copy, Blu-ray disc copy on eBay as well, and I got Cinderella for under 20 bucks altogether. This is the Best Buy exclusive steelbook. You have the embossed Cinderella Diamond Edition, beautiful artwork in the back. So yeah, Cinderella, Disney classic. Next up, a lot of people are really enjoying this film. It gets praised tremendously by a lot of people, including a couple YouTubers on here, and I do agree with them solely based on the fact that it is one of the best films of last year. You have Patricia Arquette, L.R. Coltrane, Lorelai Linklater, Richard Linklater's daughter, and Ethan Hawke in his Boyhood. Oh, sorry about that. Got this thing on a timer. So anyways, getting back to my thoughts on this film. I love this film. I definitely don't see me rewatching it anytime soon. I know it's a 2.5 hour film, but I did enjoy this film. Great story, great acting by Patricia Arquette, and so yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I have about this film. Boyhood, written and directed by Richard Linklater, one of my favorite directors. Next up, we have a screwball comedy classic, It Happened One Night, starring Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert. This one is a Criterion Blu-ray, 20 bucks at Costco. Definitely recommended. It's just one of those films that is just, you enjoy it all the way through, and I highly recommend it. So yeah, It Happened One Night. Next up, a steelbook, Apocalypse Now, Francis Ford Coppola, Marlon Brando, you have Martin Sheen. Definitely a great classic. Yeah, so highly recommended. I know everyone has this film, so Apocalypse Now. Next up, a digibook, All About Eve, starring Betty Davis, Ann Baxter, George Sanders, Celeste Holm. You got Marilyn Monroe. You got a tight cast in this film. All About Eve, classic film. Highly recommended, and it's one of those films that kind of just like runs on, and it repeats itself. If you see this film, you'll understand what I mean. So yeah, All About Eve. Shout out to Nick Darden. You posted this one on eBay, or not eBay, but on Twitter about this eBay seller selling this copy with a slipcover, and it's The Fighter. This one stars Mark Wahlberg, Christian Bale, and Amy Adams. Everyone has this film. I just held off on this film for a very long time. I wanted the slipcover for a very long time, and yeah, definitely worth the wait. I think it was only about $5 or $6. Next up, we have The Equalizer with Denzel Washington. Very nice slipcover. Thoroughly enjoyed this film all the way through. Typical Denzel Washington film. He's on a lot of these films where he plays kind of like the badass dude. So yeah, The Equalizer, starring Denzel Washington. And last but not least, pick this one up for $7.99. Check this one out on Netflix. Guilty pleasure of mine. I was surprised I enjoyed this film, so I had to pick it up at Best Buy once I saw it. And it's Homefront, starring Jason Statham, James Franco, Winona Ryder, and Kate Bosworth. Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I know a lot of people don't like Jason Statham in his films, but this is one of the films that I thoroughly enjoyed from start to finish. So yeah, Homefront. Alright guys, that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I will probably do another movie night. Also thinking about starting a new channel, mainly because I had to delete some videos that I uploaded earlier and I got strikes for it, so I'm very limited on what I can do on this channel. So any extras videos that I think of, any extra content, I'm gonna put that on a separate channel, and I'll put the links all down below in the description once I figure everything out. Again, hope you guys had a very happy new year. wonderful Christmas. Thanks for watching. Please comment, subscribe. Jake's Rico signing out.